Hi, I'm Chris.
December 2025. I'm 49. I was diagnosed with Parkinson's 9 years ago. I'm trying to bring you practical, immediate solutions through a series of videos.
In the previous video, I explained that I applied my system optimization methods from my job to the dopamine production system. And the first thing you do before optimizing a system is to analyze current performance, to identify variables that make it possible to distinguish the effect of the optimization, ideally a positive one. So I'm not the first to take this approach. For example, I read the book Parkinson and B1 Therapy, which recounts the work of Dr. Constantini by Daphne Bryan, who suffered the disease. She noticed that patients themselves did not realize the progress they were making, even though it was real. So she advised them to get help from someone to do the method that your neurologist has probably used on you, pulling you by both shoulders to make you lose your balance backward. And according to her, this parameter is noticeably improved by B1 therapy. The problem is that it's not very practical to use, since you need two people. What I discovered by accident is that there is actually another parameter that's very easy to identify: brushing your teeth in the evening. It turns out I had an electric toothbrush that makes a little noise after 3 minutes when you're done. And before I used B1 therapy, I had the hardest time finishing in 3 minutes. It basically never happened. And as soon as the treatment started working properly, I was easily within the time limit every day. It never happened again that I went past the 3 minutes. So for me, this parameter is very, very telling about your neurological condition. There is an even more immediate parameter in the evening as well, still related to washing up, and that's your ability to shampoo your hair. Because that's typically the kind of task that becomes extremely difficult if you're not doing well neurologically. And that can be very quick if you are. So there's no doubt possible. You know right away whether you're doing well or not. So with these two indicators, you can track your neurological condition. So why only at night? I take my last L-Dopa at 6:30 p.m. So by 10 then, brushing my teeth or shampooing, I'm already totally off meds. So this is not the result of the dose I just took. It's really the result of my baseline neurological condition. I'm talking about neurological condition because that's what we're interested in first, since it's our weak point. Of course, track other factors too, especially physical fatigue, because for us, physical fatigue has a direct impact on our neurological condition. If we are extremely physically fatigued, the nervous system will not function properly. So it is absolutely essential to monitor your level of. And for that, nothing beats. The advantage is that you have it all day long, in real time. You also have the history. And you can also see the downward trend and the upward trend. So it's very, very informative about what works to keep you doing well, or what wears you out. Especially with a watch from a brand that starts with G and ends with N. The market leader. There is a metric called body battery that is very easy to track, and this body battery metric has no absolute meaning by itself. You shouldn't give it too much importance. It doesn't deserve it. Meaning, if your body battery is at 5, you are not at death's door. And if it's at 100, you are not necessarily going to break world records. On the other hand, if over 15 days your body battery is consistently too low, or if it stays high for 15 days, you'll really notice that your fitness level will be completely different. So the goal is to use this parameter every day to stay in the zone that lets you both make progress and stay in good shape. Because the tricky part is that to improve in sports, you have to get tired. If you really have to tire yourself out, that means pushing beyond your limits. That's when you can improve. And unfortunately, it's tiring. So managing fatigue is an issue for all athletes. But for you, effects hit right away, impacting the nervous system. So we must track you far more closely from now on. So I actually set it up. It's a setting that's normally visible in a submenu. I put it right up front on the watch so I can access it at any time. By managing the body battery setting to keep fatigue at an acceptable level. So this body battery setting goes from 0 to 100, or actually from 5 to 100. I think the minimum of 5 is Garmin's idea to keep their customers from thinking they're dead. But in reality, when you're at 5, you can get even more tired and drop well below that. But it will still stay at 5. So the problem is that afterward, to recover, if you're actually below 5, but it displays 5, it's going to take a very long time. Since you could really be at -15, if you're at -15, but it shows 5, you'll have to recover 20 points to get back above 5. So once your body battery hits 5, you should slow down and start calming yourself. It's only at night that you can get points back. The difficulty is that for people with Parkinson's, I realized that sleep itself didn't count for all that much in recovery. At least for the body battery score. It was mostly just being in bed, lying down, relaxed. Whether you're asleep or not doesn't have that big an impact on recovery. But we're not great sleepers here either. One consequence is that there's a fairly simple way to recover more. You'll laugh. It's going to bed earlier. Before midnight. It's not necessarily easy to gain body battery points. But going to bed earlier at least helps you avoid losing them. If you stay awake and active at night for 2 hours, you keep losing points. Go to bed. No points gained, but at least none lost tonight. And if you fall asleep in the evening starting at 15 points, you'll have 10 more points in the morning than if you start your night at 5 points. When you get up in the morning, don't panic if you see that your score is bad. It happens. It won't stop you from performing well that day. Still, it's troubling if you get poor results 15 days straight. Now, I started seeing real improvements when I managed, over 2 weeks, to keep a score of 25 before going to bed. It's very hard to influence the body battery score you see in the morning, so I try to focus on the evening score instead. And I tried to reach 25 every evening for 2 weeks. You can see it clearly. There's a chart in the app that